I'm live. I'm live. Woot woot. Um, I'm live. So I'm gonna tweet out the stream real quick. I'm also gonna have to put that on vibrate. Alright, and then I'm going to hold on. Okay, I gotta pull up the stream on my phone to make sure that it's going alright. Okay, I can mute that. Okay. Now I go to Discord. And send out into Discord. Alright. I'm live for a whole 2 minutes. Alright. Turn my controller on. Hopefully it works. It's not working. Okay, it's working. Or is it? I didn't see it move, but I heard it move. Okay, it's working. How do you guys like the new image below me? I really like it. Again, my cousin Sierra Arapara made it. Alright, so I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I have to go here into the evidence room and examine, because right here, what's this? Blood? It's a little warm. There's definitely a handprint there. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use the chest fluid and check it out. I don't know how to use the fluid, so I'm just going to press buttons until I figured it out. It's not that button. It's not that button. Not that button. Not that button. Not that button. Well, I opened up the... Do I do it through here? Am I an idiot? I am an idiot. I can just go in here and spray. Oh, I gotta use the touchscreen. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint! What? What's the matter, detective? It's locker! It's mine! It's yours? Hello, coming from the tribe, showing that tribe support love. Thank you so much, Tripper Mushies. It didn't show up on the browser source, did it? Objection! Yes, Nebris. And Coach K, welcome. So my browser sources aren't working right now, which is always fun. I can refresh them though. So hopefully they'll work now that I refresh them. My game is lagging because I was doing something else.
Please! You have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I won't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it down to the floor plan.
I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? But you're a detective. Okay. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, now that I've seen that, question: is there any other blood? Is there any other blood? What's up, Drive 11 support? Thank you, Infinite 1X. Alright, so we found some more blood. There must have been a massive amount of blood here. I've never seen so much before. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective?
Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien?
This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make a note of it on the floor plans. Hello, Coach K!
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked.
Okay, question. Is that all the blood? I should look for more blood. I should look for more blood instead of just stopping. Thank you, Man Draco, for the support. Yeah, it's not showing up on the browser source, but I can still see the chat on. Yeah. Okay. So I think I've gotten all the blood there is to get. Unless there's some blood over here somewhere, but I doubt it. All right. So now let's move. Where do I go now? Alright, underground parking lot maybe? Maybe Edgeworth is back. Edgeworth's not back. What do I do now? Is there more blood here? Weird that there's no blood on the actual crime scene. Oops, I didn't mean to go here. Department entrance. Move. Security guard office. Evidence room. Can I talk to you about anything? No. Present. Luminol testing fluid. Okay, okay. What do I do now? There's got to be more blood here, right? There's just got to be more blood then. Wait a second. What's that? What's that? What's that there? This cloth. There's something sticking out of here. Looks like a shirt. It might be evidence from some case. I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here.
There you go, pal. Making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet the evidence locker was open recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I had him breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. I bet he doesn't tuck in his shirt under that trench coat either.
If you're gonna talk behind someone's back, do it right in front of them. Don't do it right in front of them, pal.
Okay. Is there blood on that shirt? Hello, Sierra! I was just talking about how good of a job you did on the artwork below. I mean, I was talking about it before everybody showed up. Like, I started, like, right at the start of the stream. Alright, let's see. Was there blood on this cloth? Nope, there was blood here. We're searching for blood. I figured out how to search for blood.
Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door.
This must be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminol testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that?
Huh?
I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow $50 from the chief.
Where did you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. I'd better jot this down on the floor plans.
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Was there something you needed to be going to?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I want to give them my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean this note written on the back of this flyer? The one that says nothing but no problems?
Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Okay, so we found all the blood. I figured out how to look for blood, which is great. So now Edgy should be here. Wait, what is he doing here? He was the bellboy in like the second case for a completely different hotel. What the heck is he doing here? This isn't even a hotel. What is he doing here?
Oh, guest, my apologies.
Oh, it's you.
Have we met somewhere?
Huh?
Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long.
Is Edgeworth here?
There's standing by my window, a teacup in his hand.
Ah, it's you. Has the hotel bring him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
Precisely.
By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you.
Oh, yes. He brought me some information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow.
I think the report is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
So how did the inquiry committee go?
Actually, they decided not to treat this as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. We were lucky this time. Again.
Again?
I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago.
Are you okay for the trial tomorrow?
Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however.
Something happened?
They gave control of my investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes, any further investigation for this case will be directed by the chief of police command. I believe nothing but nothing. I can do nothing but wait for his results.
I see.
Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still.
Well, I've never seen him this out of sorts. And you saw him when he apparently did a murder too. I mean, he didn't actually do that murder, but okay, let's.
Right, please, I'm the prosecutor of this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea.
I'll pass on that tea. Just tell me about the case. Mr. Wright, Mr. Edwards just told you no in a very polite manner. Whose side are you on anyway? Maybe I just show him my best evidence I can get some reaction out of. Okay, so I gotta find something that's good. I'm giving him my best evidence. Oh right, I need to know about this. Oh right, I better check this now.
As I was saying, what's this? A record of ID card usage?
Edwards, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less.
Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, don't look at me like that. I was asked to go, by Chief Gant no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office.
But it was solved, right? It would have to be in the evidence was already filed.
The Chief is never one to explain himself. But in any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case.
And I'm curious about this other case. I'd better make a note of it. Unrelated evidence.
Summer as always, I told you not. This has nothing to do with the current case.
Okay, okay. What about the switchblade knife?
I know you. You probably got a hold of some information already, right?
It also to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in.
You're the man who revived the worst memory of my life, as I recall. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later.
A bad memory. He's talking about the murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth.
The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy police chief at the time, Damon Grant.
That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago too, then?
He was the best we had, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Oh, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why it was a deputy chief of police on the investigation.
In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We went on a guilty verdict, and the killer was executed.
Wait, you don't?
Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
You still working on that scientific investigation?
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today, Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminol testing fluid, Well then, it might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints.
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know.
I've no say in today's investigation. Do as you will.
Edgeworth, I'm really...
No need to thank me. Here, take the powder and those fingerprint files for everyone involved.
Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Hello, Infinite 1X.
Well, let's get going. One last investigation.
Right. I do remember seeing that suspicious handprint somewhere. Alright, I know exactly where that suspicious handprint is. There were 2 suspicious handprints, actually. No, I pressed the down button. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint.
Here in the blood on the detective's evidence locker.
Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed.
Alright, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. Let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quick for casting and choose a finger.
The thumb.
Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done.
I'm starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that?
Just touch the screen, see?
Oh, it looks like it did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the print is well spread, just blow away the excess.
How do I do that?
You just blow with your breath. And you're blowing out candles on birthday cake, see?
Well, it looks like fun. It might be something to get used to, though.
It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. Just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
I guess I better give it a try. Alright, I gotta blow. What do I use to blow? Microphone settings. Use the connected microphone. This one requires use of the mic hotkey. What is the mic hotkey? That's just some test. Do I just blow? I don't want to blow into my microphone because then everybody else can hear it. I'm talking into my microphone, so is it like reacting when I talk? Hello. I don't want to blow into my microphone, but I kind of have to. Hello. Is there a hotkey for using the microphone? I'm going to use the hotkey of what button? This one. Okay. Okay. Hello, 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 hello. It's not working. It's not working. I go here to microphone settings. Unplug it for a sec. No, because if I unplug it, then I won't be able to use the microphone on the unless it's using this microphone. Are you using this microphone? Hold on. What happens if I do this? There we go. Okay, I figured it out. I just had to go into the settings of my emulator.
Oh, you did it! You found one!
But this looks something like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here.
Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes in scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. Alright, why not? Why don't we look for other prints?
Other prints?
Look into the locker again closely.
It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Okay, spread the powder, 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 and use this button. We got a fingerprint! I think I'd like to try one of the other fingerprints.
Let's move on to a different finger.
No, I got it. I got it. They're not slow enough? Or not add enough powder?
Yay! A print so clear it's dazzling!
The dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match right away.
So we're not done yet? This is quite a process.
Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess he's right.
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person who left these prints.
How am I supposed to know who it was?
I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. Whose fingerprint will we most likely find on this evidence locker?
Detective Gumshoe?
Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
I guess it's probably because I was thinking, so what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, and there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint. That's one. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's the one I was going to check the first time. Okay, so that's not what I'm supposed to do. Do I examine it instead? This is where we got a luminol fluid reaction, right?
Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, you want to try using this?
There go the sparkling eyes again. Check for prints. Okay, let's check for prints.
That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right? We only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too.
Oh, right. So that means no prints.
Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high?
Don't ask me.
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left from the bloody hand. Okay, I'm not seeing any. This one. No. Okay. Oh? We found something? Can I just like do both at the same time? No, I actually have to let it accumulate before I blow on it. I gave it my best shot.
That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it?
But it looks like we'll get a clear result from this print.
Let's try a different finger then.
I don't even see... I gave it my best shot. Oh, okay, so it was the same one. What about right here? This one will be different, right? There we go! I'm so good at this game! Okay, Mike Meekins, maybe? No, Matt is not. Okay, so it wasn't Meekins. What about Goodman? So it wasn't Goodman. Was it Gant? Okay, so it wasn't Gant. Don't tell me it was Lana. Okay, so it wasn't Lana. And who was it? The only person left is Angel? Emma? Oh, we haven't done Marshall yet. Of course Marshall's handprints are going to be here. Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? If it's someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? It's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime. Emma, these are decidedly different from the Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminal reaction, the blood and the fingerprint are in the same place. Oh! Oh! So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a white blood stain. Well, why would Officer Marshall? Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess it's what you call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. This is what we call a twist. Yeah. Detective Marshall was the one in charge of well, he wasn't in charge of the investigation, but he was in charge of like the evidence and stuff. And he's also the security guard for the evidence place. So what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at the other scene. Days of the week? Oh, just days? Can't trust anyone these days. I didn't see your first message at first, I'm sorry. What do I call you? Do I call you days of the week or just days? Or week? Or 7? Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. You can call me Evan or Weeks. Alright, Evan. I'll try to remember Evan, but I'm really bad with names, so if I call you Weeks, that's because I forgot Evan. Just don't call me late for dinner. Oh ho ho! I'm the exact same way. I hate being late for dinner. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So how'd it go? As Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind the simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you! Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye, We discovered traces left by a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. You find Officer Marshall's traces? Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, we're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? What do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the criminal affairs from the prosecutor's office. The victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? Unless... A Okay, I was gonna say something, but then I sounded stupid. Okay, hold on. Question. Unless... Okay, so we know that his body was found here. But, what if... And I'm stretching here. Somebody was dressed up as him for the crime that took place right here at the evidence room. What if somebody was dressed up like him? No, but then again, they would have to have his card. And we found his card at the one place. I don't know. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim in the evidence room just disappear. Okay, or... I'm just gonna throw this out here. But if... What's his name? Gatto? Is that his name? Gant. Gant can do whatever he pleases, right? So if he got... So he could technically get rid of the body of someone that's pretending to be Bruce Goodman. And Bruce has a specific look. Also, Bruce might have lost his card, his ID card, and got a new one. Maybe it was stolen. I don't know, I'm just spewing out theories. Game theories! Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edwards' car. Oh, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as the prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed to reveal itself. Thanks for watching! Exactly. No, that's what sets Mr. Edwards apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. That's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let's just rather resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edwards, you may call your first witness on the day up to the stand. First witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh boy. Things are gonna get wild from the get-go. Officer Meekins. I'm sorry if anybody hates his voice, because I don't really like his voice either. It's really high-pitched and annoying. If you don't like his voice, just let me know and I'll stop. I'll give him a different voice. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir! I'm Officer Mike Meekins, sir! My occupation is, that would be murder, sir! So you're telling us you're a professional killer? Sir! It was me, sir! I'm the one who did it! I'll never kill anyone again, sir! You gotta believe me, sir! Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is... Sir! I would like to call... I'm what you would call part of the younger generation, sir! A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend! Please, Mr. Edwards, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I'm part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard. Officer... He was assigned to guard it. Yes, Officer Meekins is Wilden. Okay, so he was assigned to guard it. Okay. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. And see, we can't see Goodman's face on his testimony profiles. And Goodman has facial hair right here. And I'm not seeing it there. So I'm thinking that it might be the case. That somebody was just dressed up as Goodman. I was suddenly attacked. I fell for my life and I did it. After that I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim of Detective Goodman attacked you? Do unto others before they do unto you. That's Meekins' family motto, sir. I see. Then you framed it in a colleague helped you regain consciousness. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Crime report, sir. Okay. Mr. Meekins, you work at the General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir! I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir!
Yikes, now there was a scary thought. Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir!
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the head detective, sir! I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transfer process! That was my sole mission for the day, sir!
I see, sounds like a very, important mission.
The award ceremony finished that day, there were many people running around, but I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room!
Oh, so that's why you went into the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
Okay, so wait, hold on. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. But he wasn't assigned to guard the evidence room that day. He was assigned to guard the Blue Badger. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir! I have one right here around my neck!
So then your ID number should be listed in here, right?
There it is! I found it! It's this one, sir!
Can you please read us the number?
Yes, sir! It's 498-89596! That's my number, sir!
I see, huh? Number 498-89596. It's shown being used twice. Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time was when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see, so it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen. I was only doing what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked.
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife.
Detective Woodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You're not exactly the kind of person you want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I took my arm like an octopus, struggling to defeat him. Octopus! That's how I got his gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be...
When I saw the blood trickling on my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I felt for my life, and then I did it.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I don't know that. I know I don't really look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a soaring maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
See, he must have been desperate.
The next thing I know, his white coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in the face, sir! After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
Hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. It's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can rest easy now. I believe we have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The Chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. Videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection. What? I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. It's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. The only thing I'm really good at.
Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder, just what are we getting ourselves into? Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell is that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that was a important door to the entire criminal affairs department, sir! It's the Blue Badger, sir! Why am I not surprised that this has been going smoothly? Yes, well, anyway, it's to prove that the witness that indeed encountered someone, and the evidence remains that sort of our activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying clearly on incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Mr. Officer Meekins? Yes, sir, as you wish, sir! Except, he managed to open up the, hold on, his face. He managed, in the video, to open up the evidence locker, and it uses a detective's fingerprint. Okay, can I check the security video to see it again? Okay, so he's definitely in Goodman's outfit. And he drops something. And then Meekins is the only one there and not the dead body. So that one had to have been Bruce Goodman, right? Because otherwise, how would he get into the locker? Well, there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which requires Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is not questionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. And tricky, that would mean the victim of the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife? Sir! You must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face! I believe it would be classified as the latter? The latter, but you were standing right in front of him, were you not? More to the point, you were the person that fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. Not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking to him, you see. That's a good trait for a police officer. Still, I'm sure it was him. I bet my badge on it! But you don't know for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Plus, hold on a second. Can I look for Detective Goodman's facial hair in that video? Or is it blocked? It's blocked. It's not going to let me see his facial hair. I'm not seeing any facial hair, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to notice. I'm trying to look around it, but I can't. Okay, so I can't say for sure that it was him, but at the same time, he opened the locker. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is if you label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can be identified in the video, only you can identify it. Well, why is everyone looking at me? I had to label yourselves as disturbing her. Meekins. Eek! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now, please be certain when you more testify. Yes, sir. Including the man who brandished the knife on you with Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you were positive it was him. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself have tried all kinds of methods in the past. No one responded to your fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, that only responds to register fingerprints. Then he must be the person that the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir, and this too! The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir! How do you know that information? I heard rumors, sir, from people I know, sir! People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir, they keep me informed. You have to listen to my romantic trouble, sir! For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information with a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video is the man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir! Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important to this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir! My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir! Yes, you do have a point. The footage says no. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? Probably. You wouldn't be asking me if not, so I'm going to cheat like the little cheater that I am. There is a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there's only one thing in front of it that seems to be strange. Strange. Contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman. What? The video contains such a contradiction? Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I propose we have the defense point out this alleged contradiction in the video. If you want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you spoke of. Point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up that you can use fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. I understand everything with a police officer. Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates? Okay. I don't know. Okay, I already saved the tape. I'm going to save this tape again. The thing that's strange about this video would have to be this. Hold on, I don't need to use my eye drops. Oh, I don't get it. I want to mind if I borrow dry medicine. Don't look at your eyes. Before your eyes get too teary, perhaps you should put things in. The video again. Very well, let's try this again. Remember one thing every time. I have to point out this problem. Okay. Please let this one. The strange part of this video would have to be this. Okay, no. Okay, I have no idea. You've got to head out, my guy. Alright, see ya, Evan. Have a great rest of the stream. Thank you, man, for stopping by. See you next time. I have no idea. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems to be unnatural about that. What could it mean?
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright. You seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise.
The point?
What are you looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates that the man may not be Detective Goodman.
Oh, yeah.
I almost walked right into the defense's trap.
I'll place him under arrest, sir! Rats. I need to slow down and tackle things one place at a time. What do I do? Oh, well, let's try this again. Okay, I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know. Wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on. Go back. 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 Did I see that correctly? Did you guys see that? Before he opens it. Right there. Before he opens it. The light is still on. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? No, I mean the other Officer Meekins. As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab a handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If the print matches the registered data, the light turns on and the block is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. The victim reaches for the handle to open the locker. Let's rewind to a little earlier. It is still on. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Oh! Dude, I'm a genius! How did I figure that out? Order. What's the meaning of this? Very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. Objection. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When the door is shut, a sensor is triggered. The locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect it and report the malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices you should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, what you see, this is exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the electronic system. Something jams the sensor, you say? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well. Inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. That's right. Please point out the cause for this. I think... Yeah, see, it's on. Right there. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. I'm a genius. I am a freaking genius. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are open. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my car door, sir. Oh my goodness, Megan, you are a dummy. We can't be sure that item was in the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? And inserted? The white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But that object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, but it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator found at the crime scene. There might have just been something that fits that description. But sir, by insulator, what do you don't mean? I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. The defense please prevent the relevant thing. What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? This rubber glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that wasn't in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lamp lit suggested this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins? Sir! It would appear so, sir! Order! 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 So we are to believe then that the victim whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense merely demonstrated the possibility, nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins? Please testify about this. Sir? Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir! This is a joke. Very well. Begin your testimony. There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one else used an ID card. When an ID card is used as a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his ID card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim. Just before the crime. Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing that strikes me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transfer. Why were there so many people using the room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transfer there, and most of them were cleared out by noon. Right, I see. Let's move on to the cross-examination. Is it a possibility that his card was... Wait, hold on. I think the lost item report that he filed, or was going to file, was for his card. Because if you look, he doesn't know what his number is. He had to scratch it out. So unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this to be rock solid, do you? Yes, sir, solid as stone, sir! If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V for victory sign, sir! Couldn't you just use his right hand for that? Let's hear him out. Victor can't afford to make any more mistakes. Is that card hanging from your neck one of these ID cards? Yes, sir! The card right next to my cuff, sir! I keep it here so I won't ever forget! But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that? Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 or 3 times my tie gets stuck in the car door when I get out? Well, the remaining time my ID card gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card tells me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to it. Please proceed with their testimony. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it. Detective Goodman? What's the matter? Oh, according to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So what is, Your Honor? Not the prosecutor again. Hey, he's behind this. Maybe being a prosecutor, you're gonna hide the evidence. Mom, is that man on trial as a murderer? Shh, stare at him. You got the wrong color, kid. It would seem. The inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination. Poor Mr. Edwards, it must be so difficult for him. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled out a knife on you. Yes, sir, he didn't show me an ID card, sir! Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Well, maybe I just panicked. Everything stems from contradiction, let's point him out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with his ID card testimony is too far objective. It's not like Edward can miss something like this. I'm thinking too hard about it, come on! Oh, I was just making his voice for a second there. Huh? What? Why is my content not available? It's still on green, right? Yeah, it's still on green. That was weird. Okay. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show him what we got. Okay, I think I know what to do here. But there's two different things that I could do here. One is present this. Wait 1 moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good waiting, sir! I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room of the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Oh, lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there is a high possibility. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on that day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim has lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, he must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the incidents of the murder. That is... well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only a few minutes ago, you seemed to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Well, it seems you finally realize exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edwards. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means that the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So, the real crime could only take place in one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the word murder weapon. Ah. Oh, he's right. I knew the testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, the trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, we have to do something else, Lana! What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Objection! 1 moment, Your Honor! What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Okay. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amount of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination of the truth of the matter. Mr. Attorney. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is this prosecutor prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean, Your Honor? The defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear the person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. White. This person whom you would have justified. What is his or her name? Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you? I didn't. My eyes read on my brain didn't. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. Top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier. And top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey! I didn't see you there, Miss Guy. That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh! You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to write Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years where I thought it was you who would ask me. Can I bother you to bring the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I brought them here. Here, you might do well as to read them. I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Guy was a witness? Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with the serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I've brought you your stuff, you're just going to ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? What? What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No! No, Lana! That's over with! No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Aim the Star, Devin Grant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those two killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. Better take a good look at this file. Hey, Injuring Elf! How's your day been? The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Scott. Hold on, I want to look at this. Criminal sentence death. Victims: Robert Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Michael Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. It was good. Thank you. Just did some shopping. I hope your day was good. Yeah, my day has been pretty good. So, something I want to point out here is that one of the people that was killed was Neil Marshall. Now, if you go to profiles here, Jake Marshall is probably his brother, Angel Starr. Is that her actual last name? Because if not, then there's a good chance that one of these is her brother or sister. Heck, her last name might even be Marshall. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Skye and Emma Skye. Executive investigators Damon Grant, Lana Skye. Head investigator Bruce Goodman, investigators Drake Marshall, and Angel Starr. So it looks like her name is still her last name is Starr, but that doesn't clear Jake on Neil's death. Okay. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge regarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner. Well, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. As for now, my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You're in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place, is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as its desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe we best get on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony on the day of the crime. In English. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bonehead orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon when the timer went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I particularly care for your beard, but you don't hear me complaining. Wait a minute, what do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card. I reckon every cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks inside the evidence room? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not very good with machines, or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. How exactly do you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. It moved so still. Even Tom Dodson there. I was just a caretaker in there who entered the recordings. You entered them? Videos are nothing on that. Now when time would come, I'd erase the tape. Nothing unusual as recorded tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I released a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it's not going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules this way. No desperados I know join the police force. So Officer Marshall on the day of the crime. Just between you and me, I didn't set foot in that evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. You know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How did this guy avoid being fired? You used to be a detective, so you used the evidence room in the past, correct? I have a major toothache right now, and it's just getting worse the more I talk. Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet you didn't know about the fingerprint and locking mechanism? Sorry, partner. I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the lockers cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that you mention it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem like this is relevant to the crime. Can you please tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, what were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel steak lunch can beat that part of this bongo sepia pasta. You mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this was at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually what Edward says. Did you not want to raise this year? I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner, or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. And one thing seems clear, despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, Witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. They have a trump card against so I best you put more use dog up to ante. Objection, Your Honor. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd that you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene, or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crib. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be there. Objection! I wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however, the luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. The witness' explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Thank you for the welcome back, Injuring Elf. That's because, how did you put it? You pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. All that's in there right now is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never changed. He must have been using the fingerprint lock without ever even knowing it. One of them just happens to be bloodstained at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. So then what about the bloody handprint? Was it mine? It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened the murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kind of like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's the type of mother. He's right. Although seemingly alike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? Hold it! Hold it! Hold it! It's not working. How did you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain left in the scene thought to be by the murderer. That's right. I was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Well, yeah, I think we tried that too. So that was the murderer wearing gloves, having to place his hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture? The seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape? So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this process of evidence. Yes, Your Honor. Then continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? What do you mean by that? You want me to tie... You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't just shown. No, isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, he could leave the room without being caught on tape.
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present? Please do so now. I'm gonna cheat. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have a look at the video. Show us the incriminating evidence of the race. Mr. Officer Jake Marshall. Actually, I think I see it. 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 There's nothing hanging out of his, Is that really it? And there's nothing hanging out from the thing? There! How's that for evidence?
Please allow me to apologize to my colleague, Your Honor. He gets carried away sometimes.
Yes, well, this certainly isn't a first.
We forgive him too, Officer Marshall. He's not a bad man, just a bit disillusioned.
Of course. I'm not one to gun down unarmed boys. Okay, now Edwards is defending me. I guess that means I missed the mark. Very well, let's go back to the cross-examination. Okay, so that wasn't it. Is this it? There, how's that for evidence?
Let me apologize to my colleague, Your Honor.
So. Okay, so that wasn't right. Because that wasn't right either. Normally, there's always music going on, and then it stops the music. But this time, the music stops anyways. Okay, let's just watch through this. Let's just watch through this. My phone turned itself off, which is always fun. Please don't do that, because I need to watch the stream to make sure that it's not lagging or anything like that. Okay. Let's just watch this. Okay. Reconnecting successful. Okay. Right, sorry about that. Oh wait, let me check the court record to make sure that I know which one is actually his. So it is that one right there. I don't know. Wait, hold on. Can I present it now? I really don't know. I 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 don't know. Wait, it's there now. It shows up at the very, very end. I knew it. Come on, phone. Stop doing this. Just stick with... Okay. Is it stopped? The stream? Okay, so the stream's back. It's a mistake. I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up that what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. My controller's not working. You can clearly be seen in this video. That's 8. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. See this locker that has the white cloth sticking out? This is the witness's locker. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. Oh, the white cloth! It's gone! What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! It would seem that's the case. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needs to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he had to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy isn't playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I call your bluff. When I say I opened that locker, you say I opened that locker, now prove it. Fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. Lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself! This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay! Don't know why he said Olay. Please answer the question. What is he now, a bullfighter? That's right, Officer Marshall. I believe you can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide evidence in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then what was the witness? Seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? I don't know, like here? Officer Marshall was standing right here. Officer Meekins didn't notice him standing there. That's all the most incredible of Meekins rapped here. Perhaps just think a little. Would be. Let's hear it. Here? Officer Marshall was standing right here. Officer Marshall was standing right here. There were dots. That's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim is in the video Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. Objection, but that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how? That explains why his card wasn't there. But then, that explains why his card's not there, like why it was at the underground police place. But at the same time, and the paper was there, the glove was there by the Goodman. Goodman put the glove there so we can get into his locker. He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Something about the officer's story puzzled me. The man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple, he couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Well, do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You got quite an imagination there, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence and still denying it. You're going to have to do better than that to break it and detect him, unless you have hard evidence to prove that I was dressed up as the victim. I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beer, but you ain't telling me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence for proving without the shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall was dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fears in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who can't take the desert heat. Actions can't be happening, so obviously someone. What can I do? Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you run into a wall with no place to go to, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what my told me. Nick, try thinking outside the box. She must have proved that Officer Marshall was in disguise, but rather I should look for evidence of what came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of his crime. Yet he did, despite the chance that it might be discovered that later as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to answer this question. I don't have any evidence, so the video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take another look at the security tape. I recommend the crime witness open the locker fully. White cloth. Please show us why the locker won't walk. Open his locker. I think I know, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to save this tape because I'm a little chicken baby. Fast forward, and then there. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know what the reason was yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. The bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that, so you had to hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, huh, partner? Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright, since the time has come. I had to do it that day. I just couldn't stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID card and dressed like him. I planned to take out the area. I was inspecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. He managed to escape. I knew which areas would be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So I suppose the victim was really you.
There's one thing I still don't understand. Large quantities of blood traces were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand, so I guess he's the donor. It looked like too much blood for that. When you say it, you mean... You even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. The incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When the case is closed, only the detective who was in charge of it can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care about it so much? That day was my last chance. That's what I thought. Because it's his brother that was murdered. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's RG card? I sold that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that last night report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left by Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated the lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Normally the locker shouldn't have been open. So it opened because a rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance. Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Meekins. I knocked him out. Oops. You pulled the knife on Officer Meekins to try to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during this short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type person. Makes sticking in the detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise next year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way. With me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So what happened next? Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. The security came race every 6 hours. If all had gone to plan, no footage would have been left. However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. That's what you're saying on that day, yes. There wasn't any murder in the evidence. But the blood found at the crime scene certainly indicates the crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So you stole the evidence from the locker? Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where's the evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are even a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine, and I'll do anything it takes to get the answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of jail. That's sure. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dog was convicted for those crimes. One thing I can say for sure, he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dog case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down into that trial. Something no one would talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. Let me wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved. Everybody take a look at the mouth. Okay, so it's that you know why. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you heard his name 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? Must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did. That's right, he was killed, and the case fell into your hands. What's his relation to you? He was my brother. We were investigating the murders with Damon Gant, chief detective at the time. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were so desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. Now that's the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That's all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions? There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing for sure. Now we know what happened at the police department the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with his resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered himself unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, the fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance? There's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the root. When it turned to me, the only one that could have committed the crime, Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. Objection. But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial. Objection, which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remains the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me the boys got the draw on you, partner. All the mysteries at the police department have been uncovered. No contradictions remain. The murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. There are no errors in the testimony of the witness, Angel Scar. If you have a response, make it in one word or less. Ah! I rest my case. Seems the trial is reaching conclusion. There's no time for doubt. Well done, Mr. I think I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt I proved that today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape was really fake. It was fake, but I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Hold it! Your Honor, wait! Emma! The defense has an objection, a scientific objection! Right? What do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edwards, please? I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. Now that she mentioned it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file. When I figured that out, I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day, so I knew his fingerprints had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found in Detective Gumshoe's blocker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right? No, but I figured I'd examine it scientifically. It might find a clue, so I ran it over there and looked again. So did you find something? No. Huh? Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that all? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. I'm just an attorney. But Mr. Wright, these traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you. Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. Regarding the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by another blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered there, around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can be more used, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with the blood mark, Lana will be... Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor, if I need to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with the handprint when she's not going to I'm missing. That means that a third person was there who had a glove on, right? This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is you're grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at the floor plans. So tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let's spread the defense is simply behind by time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which I have... The unstable jar.
As they say back west, even a blind man can hit with a buckshot. That is, so long as he's facing the general direction. Seems Mr. Wright's not sure which direction to face. It's no use. The more evidence there is, the more wrong choices. Just calm down, Mr. Wright. Trying to remember what the evidence... Let me have another chance, Your Honor. I'll prove it this time. What about that police of Pondwood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So what happens when we put him in? This is where he was dancing at the crime. Well, what? That's right. So as long as Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to make a handprint at the spot of the locker. What? So that means... Oh, just exactly what does it mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were found in the locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put him there. Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the Blue Badger into the room, right? After we put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. That means that blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my court. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once but twice. But how? One time captured on tape taken by the security camera, Officer Meekins cut his hand from a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time, someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered. That's ridiculous. I refute you. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that it occurred. When did the first incident occur? Surmise the friend's claim set. Prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was disguised as Jake Goodman, another incident took place in the evidence room. The blood mark on this locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? Proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Nothing will. I think it's the ID card record. But that would mean Miles Edgeworth. Because he came in 10 minutes before Meekins. But then why wouldn't Meekins notice the blood splatter? And who's 7777777777777? And the crime took place inside the evidence room, and the perpetrator would have had to enter this room. And in order to do so, an ID card is required. An ID card. Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see, 4:50 p.m. The crime took place before that, and the time would be 4:40 p.m. Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never figured you had nerve, boy. Put off the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure it out. It couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal chest that blood was there. When the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. It would have just been 10 minutes to... I would have just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and lift blood. Unfortunately, that's not physically possible. That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. So let's try it again. There's only one other card number remaining. 777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make any sense. How could Officer Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of this card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out those number who is 77777. That is 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number 777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher. Someone who is the so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against the executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not to you. To her, the defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana? Don't be so stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not something. Don't play me as a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The S09 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Do you need the witness to repeat this question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of prosecution of the trial. At that time, occasionally we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana? I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime in the law. But before I realized that we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Hello, Markadon! How you doing today? Can you can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Oh, why don't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. Good, thanks, bro. How are you? I'm doing great. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. See, that's what I'm talking about. No! No! Order! Just here to show some support, my friend. Thanks so much for the support. We'll have to wait until the following day. To be continued. Well, I'm about to reach the 2-hour mark. I could stream a little bit longer today because today is the day it is, because it's Saturday, right? Yeah, because it's Saturday. But I don't know how long the next chapter is going to be, so I'm going to go ahead and end off the stream here. Let me look for someone that I can raid real quick. Go to the Discord. My phone will work. See, non-affiliate live. Is there anybody that's live right now that I can raid? I should probably save here. Okay. A Street 1995. That's who I'm going to raid. As my game moves slowly because I'm no longer have it as the main thing. Raid a Street 1995. Alright. I hope you guys had fun. I sure did. This case, I have no idea what's going to go with it. I just hit the raid thing, but it's not showing up. Do I need to type it in again? Did I spell it right? Okay, so my OBS isn't working and it's not letting me raid anybody. So, I guess I'm not going to raid this time. I am going to hop into a stream afterwards to show some support. You guys can too if you want to. With that, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. You guys stay awesome. I know I will, and I'll see you next time.